Good morning, tubers. Bet you don't know what I'm getting ready to do. By looking at that, my last video, I was like, oh, is he cooking out? Sort of. Maybe this will give you more of a hint. Okay. So he's getting ready to can. Yep. Getting ready to can. Heating up my bottles, getting my jars ready rather. Gonna sterilize those in my water bath. Does that mean he's doing pickles? No, not this time. That's sitting out. Wonder what that's gonna be. Let's see. £30 of green beans. Daniel and I stayed up until about 1 o'clock in the morning snapping these jokers. But they're going to be good. I'm going to mix some of them. I'm going to do maybe 2 videos. One with meat added to the green beans and one without. Now this first one will be with the meat. And once I get ready to go. Okay, my jars have been boiling for way too long. These things have been boiling for 30 minutes because I got tied up doing something else. I'm actually working today, but doing this while I'm working from home. So anyway, when I get the opportunity. So I'm going to finish emptying these, pulling these out of the water bath canner, and then we'll start beginning to can these green beans. Okay, tubers. One thing you have to do after you snap the beans, we normally snap them into pieces about that size, about an inch, inch and a half, maybe up to 2 inches, depending. Last night it was getting late, so I'm going to tell them what we got in here. But you want to make sure you wash them real good, even if you're an organic gardener, because there are bugs and stuff that will get all over this. What I typically like to do is I like to rinse them several times. You can kind of rinse them off real good in just regular water. Throw them into a container. Change this water and repeat that several times. I'll do it about 2 or 3 times after this, so at least 3 times, maybe 4, you should be good to go. Okay, tubers, real quick, I do want to let you know you need to rinse this thing out, since that had your, before you put your clean vegetables back in something, make sure it's cleaned out. This had the green beans in them when after we first got them, so they had the, whatever chemical might have been in there. So you need to make sure you rinse it out after the first time you empty it, and then rinse it out again before you finish filling it back up. So anyway, I'm going to pack these green beans in the jars. I use this to keep the lids clean because these are sterile now. These jars have been boiled for well over 30 minutes. So anyway, I kind of forgot them while I was working. You want to pack them within an inch. I usually pack them up to right around the rim, just below the rim. Make sure they're good and tight. I'm going to kind of bounce them down a little bit and make sure I get some more in there, because while they're cooking, they will cook down, and you'll have water. You'll have a line in the bottom where they start to float if you don't pack them tight. Plus, definitely don't want any air bubbles. I'm not going to bore you with this. Once I get these filled, I'll show you what else I do. Okay, tubers. I have packed my green beans. Now I want to put some salt in there. It's for quarts. By the way, this is the cold pack method. None of these green beans are cooked prior to packing them in these jars. They're just raw, washed, cut up, and packed in there. But for quarts, you're going to use 1 teaspoon per quart of salt. Now I use just regular old iodized salt. I do have canning salt as well, and probably going to do this. And then you want to top it off with some warm water. I have some water that I had in heating up on the stove. Within an inch. I got that one a little too full. I have to take a little bit out of there. At the top. That one might be a bit full too. That's all right. Alright, now what you want to do is take, now this is a kit. It comes with a jar lifter, a magnet, and this little thing, it's like a little spatula. You use it to slide it down inside the jars and make sure you get all the air bubbles out. Because get as much of that air out of there as possible, so that when you're canning it, it creates a good vacuum and that air doesn't keep it from sealing. And I hope you can hear this. I do not have a microphone, and I wish I did. Anyway. We got the Olympics going on in the background in there too. Probably hear that, as well as my lids for these things are coiling. If you hear any bubbling back in the background, I really believe you could hear that, since I have had issues in the past with not having good volume with some of my videos. Alright. It's boiled. clean. Take a clean towel, dip a little of that water in there, and wipe each of these lids, rims all the way around. Make sure it's good and clean and free of dirt or any kind of debris that got on there since you sterilized them. And you start placing your lids on. See how that works? Just kind of dip it down in there, pick it up, just touch the top. Don't put anything on that little seal right there. Make sure that's good and clean. And we'll lay them on each one. These lids get flipped around in here, which is not a problem. It actually kind of keeps them from sticking together. Alright. Once you got your lids on, and you feel confident that you got plenty of water and you got all the air bubbles out, put your rings on. Now these rings, they just finger tighten on. Basically what they're going to do is they're going to hold that lid to it, to the top, to make it a good solid connection with the rim of the jar. And once you're done processing, you can remove the rings and use them over and over again. Essentially, you don't have to have nearly as many rings as you do lids. There we go. Show you how we can them. Okay, tubers. You can see I have about 4 quarts of water in this canner. I usually use anywhere between 3 to 4 quarts, and I've already placed my first jar in there. You want to be real careful when you're placing these in there because that is very hot water and it is bubbling. Once it boils, it can splash up and get you. The processing time for a quart of green beans without meat is 25 minutes. For a pint, that would be 20 minutes. With meat, as you'll see a little later on. Sorry, tubers, I ran out of disk space again. I need to start deleting things from this camera before I start things. Anyway, I don't know where I left off, and so I'm just going to repeat myself. I usually use about 4 quarts of water in this this pressure canner, and the canning time for the quarts of green beans is 25 minutes. That's without meat. With meat, that would be 90 minutes. Anytime you can, you have to use the time for pressure canning and the weight of pressure for whatever ingredient has the longest cooking time. So when we do the ones with meat, that will be considerably longer. I believe it's 90. I'm going to have to check to make sure. But anyway, this is 25 minutes for quarts for green beans without anything else in it, and for pints that would be 20 minutes. There you go. You line up don't know if you can see it on there or not, but right here is an arrow on the pressure canner, and you look right here and there's another arrow. You line these up to get the good seal and put it into place. Lock it tight where these are all lined up, and then you can see the gauge here. Now that's not going to rise because I haven't put the weight on yet. There's a weight behind here. Turn that so you can see it. There you go. Now you can see both the spout and that, and then once it starts blowing air out real good, we'll put this 10 ounce weight on there. And then once we get this thing to where it is at 10 pounds, that's when you start your 25-minute cooking time. Okay, tubers, I forgot to tell you, this canner is a little different than the ones I had used in the past. This has a little, I guess it's kind of like a plunger. That thing's down until it starts to pressurize really good, and it'll pop up. That's when you actually put the, I put the lid on, this rocker on at weight as soon as I turned the video off actually a minute ago. But anyway, because I realized that has its own pressure valve on it. So anyway, we're going to watch the gauge as it comes up. It should start climbing shortly, and once we get up there to where you can see it, once we get that joker up there to 10 pounds, we're going to try and level that the gas off to this burner. And we're cooking it outside because I don't want to heat that house up any more than we already have, because it's 100 degrees out here anyway. I almost don't need the gas. But anyway, so I'm going to try and level that off, adjust the flame so we can keep it at 10 pounds for the next 25 minutes. So anyway, we'll keep you posted. Okay, tubers, I have started the time. We are just a little over 10 pounds, and I have turned the heat down, so that should come down a little bit. I'm going to keep it there until we have our 25-minute time is up. So I'll keep this right at 10, or just a little bit above 10 pounds for the next 25 minutes. See you in a minute. Not a minute. See you in 25. You'll know it's safe. Now that says 0. But there's still pressure there. You see that? And I guarantee it, if you, now this is not something I recommend you doing, but yep, you can kind of wiggle that, and there's still some pressure in there. So it's better safe than sorry. Wait till that's down. Okay, well, it's been well over 25 minutes. I forgot to film the part where I came out and turned the gas off to the pressure canner to the cooker here. But anyway, it's completely back to 0. This is down. There is no more air coming out of there. The relief valve has totally depressed, so it is safe to open it. And you always want to do that where the lid is facing away from you, because it does have hot steam in it. You don't want that to come up and get you in the face. And basically all you're doing now is we're going to remove these, stick them in the house, and let them cool off. Okay, there it is. That's the finished product. 7 quarts of green beans. And those are going to be really good this fall and winter, and if we wait that long. God bless.